I said you'd see us leaving the next episode, and this is it. We're going out of the marina right now. So if you've waited patiently for the week to pass, well done. We're off.
Yes.
So here we go at last. We're actually leaving our home port for the very first, very small step of our journey around the world. But let me just explain our plan. We aren't setting out to head off across huge oceans and battle the elements. We're setting out today just to go a few miles up the coastline, and currently we're actually going in completely the wrong direction, but that's fine. We want to take things very slowly and safely, just moving from port to port. We have a 12-year-old with a disability and a baby on board, so we're taking things very slowly and very seriously, and we want them to be safe, but we also want them to enjoy this experience. We'll keep a close eye on the weather, and we'll move only when the conditions are in our favour. We're going to spend the next few weeks working out gremlins and niggles on the boat, getting used to living aboard as a family again, and then gradually move down the coast in a southerly direction. Our days will be short and our sailing plans will be conservative and safe, and as we gain more confidence in ourselves and the boat, we will make longer passages and take bigger steps.
So we are finally out of Carnarvon, which is exciting. Not going far today, but it's nice to be out, and although it's just what we would do on a day sail, it's really bizarre because we know that we've just left our home port to go off sailing with our kids, and it's a little bit nerve-wracking just because we're like, we've left land, we don't have a home on land anymore, and it's sort of like today is the day, which is really cool. Jack did a great job of watching Ollie for a few minutes. They're watching Miss Rachel on YouTube. She is a lifesaver. We don't use it very often, but well done, Jack. You can come out now. You are free from your cave. We have officially left Carnarvon.
Yay!
Woo!
Yay!
Do a dog leg.
Yeah. But you've got an inside channel as well, haven't you, that comes up the right side?
Well, yeah, but nobody uses it.
Right.
I think shallow boats do in lots of water.
Right. It's deeper there than it is on this way that we're going.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll just follow the board channel. I always go this way.
Right.
Hey, Ollie.
Hey,
Look.
Ollie.
Hi, say hello.
He's very tired and he's ready for bed.
He's tired and cranky and he wants to go to sleep. But he's also kind of excited because we're out at sea. Sort of. We're not really. We're in the Menai Straits. If you want to know where that is, it's on this map that I'm showing you on the screen right now, in that corner. That's right, Ollie. It's very exciting. So our plan tonight is to go to the Gazelle outside Beaumaris, and then tomorrow morning we're going from the Gazelle to Diganwy Marina, just the opposite side from Conway.
What are we going to catch? A tuna, a mahi, or a wahoo, or a wahoo, or a bit of rubbish. Oh, we'll have to fend it. So Lee's on fishing duty. So I'll be very excited if he catches a fish. What are you fishing for, Lee?
Oh, I'm just going to have a troll for a bass.
Fortunately, we haven't got a barbecue yet. Jack, how does it feel? How does it feel?
Are you joking platform now?
Yeah. Nice to be out. We don't get dolphins in the Straits. It's a very rare occurrence anyway.
Literally dead on the nose. So we've come out for our first sail. We can't sail because we're going straight into it. Yes, we could short tack our entire way up there, but there's a tidal gate that we've got to hit pretty soon, going under the Swellies, under Menai Bridge and Britannia Bridge. So we're not going to short tack and spend twice the amount of time getting up there because we've got to hit that tidal gate. So just to go over what I was saying last week, what we're using for navigation for this trip is the DOOGEE Rugged tablet, the R20. I'm running Navionics on this at the minute, but you could run other things as well. You could run Orca, you could run, you know, Savinavi, you could run all of those things. It'll connect to your VRM, it'll connect to your Victron Connect, it'll connect to basically any apps that you want to use on your boat. The power is sufficient to run everything. A lot of the time when you buy cheap tablets from the supermarket, they work great, but then when you try and actually run any software that takes any sort of power, they sort of don't cope very well. But the main reason for this is the touchscreen still works even when it's wet. It's not wet now, it's lovely and dry, especially in our nice pilot house. But I have no problems using this outside in the rain, and with that beautiful long battery life, it'll last forever and ever and ever. Do you like the cockpit enclosure, Jack?
Yeah, it looks better than when we came down from Dartmouth.
Much better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the cockpit enclosure is an absolute game changer. When you step out of the cockpit enclosure, there's only 15 knots of wind, maybe 12, but it's dead on the nose, and you feel it. You feel like, oh, there's a bit of a breeze on. Here, I can't feel any wind at all. It's great. I just can't wait to finish it. Just up here, the other side of Vellinhelly, there's a really nice wide stretch of the Straits where there's plenty of water right up to the banks on both sides. We've got Lee with us, who is actually on the RNLI. He's on the Tamar RNLI boat from Moylborough. He's a good friend of him. He was helping us, he was the arborist that was helping us go up the mast. So what we're going to do is, with Jack, we're going to practice a man overboard drill on the way up to the bridges. So what we're going to do, Jack, we're going to practice a man overboard.
All right.
So we're going to
jump in.
Yeah, we're going to throw you in the water.
Got it.
I'm joking.
Oh.
Don't ever do that.
Right.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to tie a fender to some rope and chuck it over the edge and just practice the man overboard procedure.
Aye.
Let me be clear, this isn't a tutorial on how to do a man overboard. Lee is on the RNLI Moylborough lifeboat. It's fantastic to have him along. So Lee is going to go through with us the man overboard procedure that we're going to show Jack. It's part of the courses that Melissa and I have already done, but you can't practice this stuff enough, can you, Lee?
No, that's it. So obviously every vessel's different, the drills will be different, where you would bring a casualty on, all of those things, but the most important thing is that if it happens, it's the unforeseen, so you don't plan for obviously these accidents to happen. If it happens, everyone needs to be singing off the same song sheet, so everyone knows the drill, you know. So first things first, if there's a man overboard, obviously if anybody notices, you shout it, make sure everybody knows it. The person who isn't on the helm, ideally you've got somebody constantly pointing at where they are, and then the helm being able to follow. So then the next thing to consider is, how are we going to approach the casualty? So you then think about you know, the strongest sort of element, so that would be wind or the sea itself. So, you know, one of the ideal situations, generally speaking, is you would go down tide of the casualty or wind, and then move into the wind or into the current of the strongest element, and you would have somebody on the bow still pointing at where the casualty is. And ideally what you want to do is do a countdown of 20 meters, 15 meters, and you make sure everybody can hear each other as loud as you can. And as you're approaching 5 meters, and beforehand, something I have missed is the helm will say which side he'll prefer to take the casualty on. If he can see better on the port side, he'll ask to take the casualty on the port side, and then we'll come alongside and fish them out of where the best place is. Okay. So we'll just do a practice of that now with a fender.
We've got a boat hook just so that we can actually retrieve.
There is a boat hook up at the front.
In the real life, you don't retrieve a casualty with a boat hook. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
You might get hold of their life jacket actually with if you had to, but you do whatever you need to. But you don't pull somebody onto a boat with a boat hook. But I don't want to lose my fender.
Yeah.
Right. Step one.
Yeah. And last thing, if you ever lose sight of the man overboard, it's a mayday. If you ever lose sight of them, nighttime, anything, if you're not sure, you just say that.
So your job, Jack, is going to be to point, to shout man overboard, and point, and keep pointing, and keep pointing, and keep pointing, okay? Keep pointing. We'll do that.
I know.
We'll do that afterwards. Melissa's coming up with a bottle of champagne.
We're doing man overboard.
If we
Is
get
that
it
put
right,
a loop in so we can pick it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So
first thing, we're going along, obviously we're motoring along, the helm's motoring along, you know, and he's going to carry on now, and he's going to carry on as if nothing's happened. You're on the deck now, Jack. If you get up on the deck, we're just minding our own business, enjoying ourselves. And he's looking ahead, he's just, you know, helming, and then next minute you just hear that.
Let me know when you're heaving to so I can make sure
Man overboard!
man overboard.
Well, Jack, you keep pointing. That's it, we've got a man overboard over on the port side stern. So then Andy's going to decide, right, what's the strongest element, how am I going to approach the casualty?
Strongest element is the tide.
Yeah.
Going that way, so I'm going to come around and go back down past the casualty.
Yeah.
Coming about. You want me to go downwind, downstream?
Yeah.
3 boat lengths?
Yeah.
4 boat lengths?
Yeah, so whatever's comfortable, and if you go more, then that's better because you've got more time to think about it.
Yeah.
who's got the boat hook.
And then when you're approaching them, you'll tell them what you're doing. So we're coming back round to come back for you. We're going to come past, okay? And then we'll ask Andy which side would he prefer to pick up on. So then we'll plan which one we know. Which side would you prefer to pick him up on, Andy?
I'm going to go downstream and then come back upstream.
Yeah. Would you prefer on port or starboard?
I'm going to pick up on port.
Okay, we're picking up on port, Jack.
Okay. Who's picking up?
So Jack can get in with the boat up.
Okay, just we need to be aware that Jack hasn't got a hat on and we don't want to be as cool.
Okay.
Just tell Jack.
So Jack will take the casualty with the boat hook. I'll do the countdown on the bow, so you just go really steady now and just work out how you're going. You don't want to go too fast. 15 meters. Then it's going to be going slow. Off the bow.
Yeah.
You've lost sight of the casualty now.
That's it. Come in mid-ship. Jack.
That's it. Right now.
Just give a kick of the stern.
Good job, well done.
contact. We got him on board. Gonna straighten her up.
Give him a slap.
Mr. Bean style CPR now, please.
Bob, okay?
Bob,
Well done.
you alright, Bob?
Awesome.
First time. Not bad.
Andy just said a good thing for us to do as a family is nominate who's going to be the man overboard, and they're not allowed to take part.
Yeah.
Because obviously if you've always got...
Of course, that's a really good one, isn't it? Yeah, realistic.
So
It's got to be real, hasn't it?
I just sit there with my arms folded, I'm doing nothing.
Yeah, it's got to be real, hasn't it? Yeah, that's it, exactly. And it could be in the maddest of situations, because like we say, we all like to think that the accidents aren't going to happen, but it's the unforeseen, isn't it? That's the whole point. It can happen.
Knowing Andy, it'll be Andy while he's taking the thing.
So that's something that we're going to be practicing as a family regularly. Make it fun, make it not scary, but make it a procedure and a protocol that everybody on the boat knows how to follow, and just becomes a routine thing, so that if it does happen, and we hope it never does, everybody knows exactly what to do. Brilliant. So as you've just seen, that definitely wasn't a tutorial. It wasn't something we'd even planned to do in advance. We just thought, hey, let's do a quick man overboard. There's a lot of improvements to be made there. There was a big pause before someone shouted man overboard, and there was a delay before we took action, and lots of other issues to iron out. Part of the reason for that was we were explaining to Jack what we were doing as we were doing it, and being as he's deaf, we have to take the time and attention to speak directly to his face so he can lip read and properly understand what we're saying. Before we do that again, we're going to sit down and have a proper plan in place and go through all of the steps and then do a debrief afterwards. So don't panic, that wasn't a tutorial, it wasn't even a demonstration, it was just us having a bit of fun.
So when we launched Ocean Melody a while ago now, it was 5 o'clock in the morning, it was dark and it was frantic, and she'd been ashore for 10 years. And we didn't toast her as she went in. I mean, we had a drink in the evening when we went to, but we didn't actually pour champagne on the bow. No. So we thought, leaving Carnarvon, where we've been for over a year, after having a baby. He is asleep in the forepeak. Can't be too bad.
Apologies if there's any wind noise, by the way. So this is just the sound from the camera, it's a bit windy.
It's going to be poor. But, right. To Ocean Melody and many happy travels around the world as a family, and Ollie is underneath us sleeping, so he is involved.
3, 2, 1. Yay! It's just gone all over Jack.
Let's
so now Jack's pour a bit on the bow. Some for the boat and some for Neptune. And the rest for us.
Yay!
Go on, Jack.
Have a little bit.
Have a little bit.
It's with dinner, it's all right.
Cheers to everybody, and thank you for following us along, and keep following us, keep following us. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
And now we're going to go and share it with the lads.
Yeah. Thank you for all your help, Andy.
No problem at all.
Thank you. Cheers to Ocean
Cheers,
Melody.
everybody. Cheers.
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 Start a big trip.
Yeah.
Good one.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
There you go, you can just hold the bottle, Jack. Cheers.
So while Melissa's live streaming to YouTube, I'm filming for you guys that didn't see the live stream. We're about to enter the Swellies, which is a really notorious area between Menai Bridge and Britannia Bridge. And there's an awful lot of hoo-ha about the Swellies. It's one of those places that people go, oh, it's terribly, terribly dangerous. And I suppose it can be if you get it really wrong. Oh no, is that coffee? That wasn't the sea state, that was just clumsiness on behalf of the crew. There's a lot of hoo-ha about the Swellies. It's nothing like as difficult as people think. If you get the timing wrong, it's really, really bad. But if you get the timing right and you know the transits, it's like anything else, it's dead easy. This is Britannia Bridge. Menai Bridge is the next one. Straight through this arch on Britannia Bridge, there is a white cone. So we're heading straight for the white cone, keeping it in the middle of the arch currently. When we get through under the bridge, there will be 2 white markers, and we'll keep going until they're in line with each other. So you do this, until the 2 white markers line up, and then you go away from them and then you turn. So now those 2 markers behind us are in line with each other. We keep this transit now until we're a beam of Price's Point, and then we turn to follow the straights further round. Again, apologies for the wind noise. I managed to drop, we use the Rode Wireless Go microphones. They're not just like little tie clip mics, they're the wireless ones. And I dropped one of them in the bilge and it died. And they're about 240 quid. So we're sort of saving up to buy a new one at the moment, because things for the boat have been a little bit higher priority than microphones. Somebody gave us a donation towards it the other day, which was really, really nice of you, thank you very much. But we're just sort of saving up about 250 quid or something on Amazon. I think they are the Rode Wireless Go 2, because it's got 2 microphones, and generally Melissa wears one and I wear the other. So yeah, apologies for the wind noise. It's noted and it is being resolved. So explain that to me, Jack.
So the cardinal marker over there has got 2 triangles pointing downwards, which means do not go over there. So
Don't go north of them.
Don't go north of them. So we're going to turn towards the bridges in a little channel.
That's right. So
Yeah.
we're keeping those 2 transit markers in line, but
Yeah.
now we're a beam of this point here. Yeah, it's on our. So now that's on our beam. We can
Okay.
turn and head towards Menai Bridge,
Okay.
but we must not go north of the South Cardinal marker,
Okay.
which is just over on our port side. Yeah,
See the marker, and then
Oh, yeah.
going in this channel now. So
you can actually see the rocks. Yeah, that is remarkable now, isn't it? So we're just approaching the Gazelle at Beaumaris, so we're just going to find a buoy and settle down for the night.
When we parked up here, I didn't tell you, but it was quite windy.
Was it?
Yeah.
You were thinking, Andy's not going to like this. I'm like uber cautious.
Yeah, especially
Like,
currently.
uber cautious.
We're sailing with a new baby.
So if there's like any shadow of a doubt about it being safe, I'm like bailing on it. Right. Excuse me.
About 2 meters now, Lee.
It's like hook a duck, isn't it? Yeah. Like we've hooked the duck.
Very nice.
Got over the roller. manage.
Ahead a little bit, Lee.
Ahead a bit.
Just a touch ahead.
Happy with that. I'd be happy with that overnight.
Yeah.
We're on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my back's cramped up again.
Oh dear.
I pulled a muscle in my back earlier. I suffer from sort of historic lower back pain, and just with the amount of work I've been doing wiring recently, bent over, my back's just crippled at the moment, and just leaning over to pick up the buoy, I'm like, oh, my back's gone into spasm again.
Need to do
I feel like an old man.
Need to do some core exercises.
Yeah, I need to do some Pilates.
Yes.
I will, Manny, I will do some Pilates on the foredeck. I promise.
We'll tune in for Andy doing Pilates on the foredeck.
Yeah, fat man in spandex goes Pilates on the foredeck of a boat in the drizzle. There's a clickbait
You
title
could
for
do
you.
some aerial silts, darling.
Yeah. Because everyone wants to see me doing aerial silts. We have arrived safely at the Gazelle, Beaumaris, right opposite Bangor Pier, and just there, those lights in the distance, that's Dickie's Boatyard, where Steel Melody was and is. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take Melissa and Jack and Ollie and Lee back ashore. They're all going back to Lee and Gail's place for the evening, and then Andy and I are staying on the boat overnight, and then in the morning we're proceeding from here to Deganwy, which will be another really fun passage. That's the only thing about having the dinghy full of stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, what we're going to do with all of this crap?
Right, Jack. Destination Gazelle.
So we're going to say thank you very much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed the episode. We'd like to say thank you to you guys for watching. Thanks to Andy and Lee for helping us move the boat today.
Yes.
Thanks to our patrons for supporting us as always. Thanks to anybody that's donated via Coffee and PayPal and all of that stuff. And see you next time.
See you next week.
Bye.